Welcome back to Thriving with Autism. I'm Kathi Flynn, and I apologize that this is a day late, but I still wanted to give you Wednesday's Q&A. Today's big question is, how do I know if my child is language delayed, nonverbal, or needs speech services? In order to answer this question, it is important to understand a little bit more about how babies acquire language and at what stages. Once you do, you can start determining if your child's language is delayed and at what age he or she should be evaluated for speech. I'm going to refer to neurotypical babies in these examples so that you have a point of reference. Babies start with what we call cooing. This is all vowel sounds. I. The sounds go up and down with inflection, and it is adorable to listen to. Babies discover their ability to vocalize and then explore with the sounds that they can make. This cooing usually starts anywhere around 6 to 8 weeks old, and this stage certainly lasts a few months, from 2 months old to about 6 months old. Babies at this age also learn to smile and laugh in response to things and people in their environment. You will also notice eye gazing and tracking of objects around this time. The next stage is babbling. This typically occurs between 6 and 9 months of age. Babbling consists of consonants with vowels and repeat in a string of sounds. This is when babies' mouths are now developing and they can use their lips and tongue in more efficient ways. Babbling sounds like the classic mamamama or babababa or dadadada. You have to shorten the mamamama to get mama and teach that is mom's name, but usually this occurs closer to the last 3 months of the first year, between 9 and 12 months, when babies start to learn words. M's and B's are usually the first sounds we hear because they are easier for your baby to pronounce by pressing the lips together. Of course, D's, N's, T's, and others take more time because they are a little trickier to produce with the tongue. Try it yourself with different sounds of the alphabet. You should realize how easy it is to say vowels and M and B, and how the tiny movement of the tongue is needed to make more advanced sounds like for C, S, G, and Z. Anyway, we are at the point where babies are much more aware of their surroundings and are working hard to imitate and make sense of names of items and people. They are now ready for single words and typically will say a few words by their first birthday. This is because you use the same words for those items and label them consistently for your child. For example, juice, shoes, cookie, or even baby. My daughter's first word was baby because I love to show her pictures of herself and say, "Where's the baby?" She was able to say baby at 11 months, along with a couple of other words. As children learn more words and how to label things in their environment, the imitation naturally continues and the language becomes more advanced. They also start to use nonverbal gestures and pointing during the one-word stage. Children then begin to say two-word phrases, usually between 15 and 20 months of age. These typically sound like "want cookie" or "mama go." This progression continues along with 3 to 4 word phrases between 2 and 3 years old. The toddler years are full of language development where babies learn to sing, talk, and play. I have to say, there is also a lot of jargon from babies as they develop language. This actually starts back in the babbling stage at about 6 months. Jargon is like a bunch of made-up sounds and words mashed together. It's again a baby's way of trying to make sense of speech, but not yet understanding all different words and how they should sound just yet. Children often talk to themselves using all kinds of sounds and inflections. Baba do badi, hi, mana kupati, do. Okay. Toddlers listen to our conversations and try their best to imitate until more words and labels develop. Okay, so what does this mean for your child with autism? Or if you don't yet have a diagnosis, how can you tell if your child is nonverbal or speech delayed? Well, you can follow a timeline. I have attached a cheat sheet for you to reference so you can see the stages we discussed in this video with the ages. Your baby may develop many sounds, but then stop. Typically, the rule of thumb is that your child may be referred for a speech evaluation anywhere between 18 and 24 months if he or she has not yet said any true words. In our field, we have seen so many babies burst with speech between 18 and 24 months. So if your child is only saying a few words at this age, use a lot of language, label everything, and sure enough, you should hear a lot more speech. However, we know that your child may not say any words even at the age of 2. If he or she is cooing and babbling only at this age, then this is definitely considered a language delay, and I would recommend a speech evaluation. If your child is only making sounds and no real words by this age, then he or she would be considered nonverbal. However, that does not mean he or she will never speak. You can keep working on vocal production for years. But you do also want a backup method to communicate because talking does not come naturally for children with autism and can take quite some time to develop, if it develops at all. My future course, The Communication Roadmap for Children with Autism, has an entire module dedicated to learning about the different modes of communication and how to pick the right mode for your child. Tune in on Saturday where I will give you a follow-up video to this one and give you strategies to help develop vocalizations for your nonverbal child. And don't forget to check the description for that reference sheet. Until next time, I'm Kathi Flynn, and this is Thriving with Autism.